Jared here with CarBuzz, and Nissan has sent me the newly updated 2020 GTR Nismo. Yes, I know newly updated, the GTR has been around for 10 years now, but this Nismo does have a lot of changes that we think are important. Here are 7 things you should know about it. When you opt for the GTR Nismo, the Nismo team really changes the appearance of this car from everyday sports car to all-in-out race car. With carbon fiber pretty much everywhere, it's gonna reduce this weight of this car quite significantly. Carbon fiber hood with carbon fiber intakes here. You've got this carbon fiber front end, just watch that over curbs, it sits quite low, with a red pinstripe all the way down the side of the car that continues all the way down the side of the car as well with carbon fiber side skirts. The hood is carbon fiber, as I've mentioned, as is the carbon fiber roof. Helps keep the weight of this car way down. And around back, we've got that massive carbon fiber rear wing. Carbon fiber diffuser just gives this car such an aggressive look. It is wider than a normal GTR as well. It just looks like a crazy race car. Now the GTR Nismo rides on different wheels than a standard GTR. You get these black 20-inch Forge raised wheels. I think they look absolutely fantastic, and they ride on new Dunlop run flat tires that were specifically designed for the GTR and the GTR only. Size 255 in the front, 285 in the rear. They are extremely sticky with not a lot of tread pattern. That's gonna give this car lots of grip and prevent understeer. Now, if you look within the wheel, you've got these massive Brembo carbon ceramic brakes, size 6 piston in the front, 4 piston in the rear. They're gonna bring this car to a halt in a hurry. When you buy a sports car like the GTR, you're gonna wanna know all about the engine. This one is quite a unique engine. It's 3.8 liters, twin turbocharged V6. And in Nismo trim, it's gonna produce 600 horsepower. Now, the really interesting part about this engine is that it's hand-built in a hermetically sealed factory in Japan. And Nissan has 3 engineers, each of which hand-built these engines. So you only have one man building your GTR engine. In this case, it was Tayumi Shioya who hand-built this masterpiece here. And of course, it's covered by that carbon fiber hood that we mentioned. So the GTR Nismo isn't just different on the outside. You do get a lot on the inside that differentiates it from a normal GTR. For example, you get these red Recaro bucket seats. They're a little bit narrower than the ones you get on a normal GTR. You do get this Alcantara wrapped steering wheel with the little red racing notch up top. You get some red leather on the shifter. You get red leather on the doors, and you do get Alcantara all the way on the top of the dash and on the roof, giving this car a little bit more of a premium feel to match that $212,000 price point. So the infotainment screen, while not that special for normal purposes, you have Bluetooth and you do have Apple CarPlay available. The most important thing that GTR Nismo owners might be interested in is this function button. Push it and it's going to pull up these performance screens. So you have all different ones and you can customize which graph is on which screen. We've got our boost pressure, engine oil temperature. You can have one showing your braking G, acceleration G, steering G, and again, you can customize all of these so you can have the exact screens that you're interested in while racing. And if you do bring this car to a racetrack, you even have a built-in stopwatch. It's controlled using a little marker here on the steering wheel. You can use stop start. You can mark your laps here. So you can push that here and it'll mark different times here over on here. It's not as cool as maybe the performance data logger that you get on the new Corvette, but it is an interesting thing to use on the racetrack. The rest of the screens here, though, you're not really going to be able to look at these because you are going to try and keep your eye out on the racetrack, but maybe it's cool for the passenger to look at if you do have one on the racetrack. So the GTR is a bit interesting in terms of how you configure it to drive. We have a bunch of different drive mode settings here, one for the drivetrain, one for the suspension, and one for the traction control. Each one of those has 3 modes. So the down modes are save, that's gonna put the drivetrain in its most relaxed setting, comfort, that's gonna put the suspension into its most comfortable settings, and then off on the traction control, that's going to completely disable traction and stability control. Flip them up to put everything back into normal mode on all 3. Now, if I want to enable launch control, which is this car's most amazing feature, all I have to do is grab all 3, hold them up, and that's going to enable R mode. That's going to put this car into maximum attack, maximum stiffness. When combined with this car's manual mode, then GTR Nismo becomes an absolute savage. Now that we've checked out the drive modes, if I put all of them in R, that's going to enable the GTR's party piece, its launch control. With 600 horsepower and all-wheel drive, the GTR Nismo takes just 2.5 seconds to hit 60 miles an hour, making it one of the quickest gasoline-powered cars on the planet. Let's see what that looks like in practice.